Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. This is a bottom-of-the-barrel day, and I'm a bottom-of-the-barrel Dave. We're scraping, baby. Not much news going on in Bachelor Nation, as far as I know. We got our ears to the wall, listening for any tea, gossip, or otherwise information. And there isn't much out there, but I found this article about the major contract demands that Becca Kufrin revealed in her Talking It Out podcast. I listened to it, and boy, I tell you what, these publications, they'll find anything to talk about. Slow news day. All right, here we go. Let's get into it. Do me a favor. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. As always, boy, did I do a good job selling this video. I tell you what, though, some of my best content comes when there isn't much to talk about. It's like when you're playing jazz. You play the notes between the notes, and here we are, Bachelor Nation News, playing the notes between the notes. So let's get right into it. I got a vlog out. Do me a favor. Give it some love. One person downvoted it. They must just be an angry person because it's a good vlog. I surprised Tasha with her favorite Harry Potter store in New York City and did some stand-up comedy shows, and then we went to Fashion Week. So tons to see there. Also, Dave Neal's community on Facebook. Someone had commented recently, Dave, you spend too much time promoting your other content in the beginning of the videos. To which I say, sorry, I'll try to move faster. That's not what I wanted. Let's keep it going here. Here's the article that was in question. Becca Kufrin made major contract demands before going on Bachelor in Paradise. Sorry, I got a lot of tabs open here, trying to figure it all out. Everyone was pretty shocked, surprised, in a state of what is happening when it was revealed Becca Kufrin would be joining the cast of Bachelor in Paradise. I mean, this is the biggest get that they've had. This is the first time they've had a former lead on Bachelor in Paradise. They've had plenty of people go on Bachelor in Paradise and then become leads. Colton, some other, I don't know, other people. Anyone else there? Yeah. Who else went out there and then became the lead? Well, whatever, it doesn't matter. You'll leave some comments. Turns out two of Becca's close friends are Bachelor Nation producers, and while they weren't initially going to be working on Paradise, once they found out they'd be hitting the beach, they tried to convince Becca to join. So here's what Becca said. It wasn't on my radar. They have asked me for probably a couple of weeks, and I kept saying no, and at first I thought it was a joke. She said on the Talking It Out with Bachelor Nation podcast. I was like, haha, that's funny. It kind of transpired because two of my best friends who work on the show, who also weren't supposed to be working on the season, ended up getting roped in. And they were like, will you just come? It'll be fun. And I'm like, look, if I'm going to go, I have a lot of demands. So obviously this is, I don't know. I feel like this is sort of in jest, but also, yeah, if you're the biggest person to ever go on the show and she's already a fan favorite, all she can really do is make herself either still be a favorite or do something tragic on the show, throw a cake in a fire, or, bang someone's, whatever the case may be. All she can do is mess this up. So get the demands out there. And as we know from Jason Tartick's podcast, Trading Secrets, the average Bachelor in Paradise cast member is getting paid $400 to $600 a day, $600 on the upper side. I wouldn't be surprised if Becca negotiated for triple that. I wouldn't be surprised if she's getting $1,800 to $2,000 a day, or even more. I wouldn't be surprised if she, named her price and said, all right, I'll go for $60,000. You pay me $60,000, I'll go onto the beach. I mean, she's got a giant following. She is a get. The show realizes they don't need many gets. They can have the people that, like, no offense to the likes of, like, maybe I guess Demi probably kind of can negotiate a higher pay, but people like Deandra, she doesn't have a big following, and they'll take the $400, $500, $600 a day. So here's Becca's demands, which involved her wanting a pretty decent contract. I basically was like, here's the list of everything I want. Minnow on the beach. Minnow's her dog. The most random extreme things. I want daily shrimp tacos. You're a small town girl from Minnesota when the most random extreme things are daily shrimp tacos. Hey, babe, you want to do something extreme today? Yeah, what do you think? Maybe rob a bank? No. Shrimp tacos. Let's go for it. Let's get that crustacea and the cilantro. Keeping it wild. All right, we're ranting. She asked for a trip to Thailand, and I think that obviously was not accepted. I'm surprised that wasn't accepted. A trip to Thailand. I went to Thailand a few years ago. It's not that expensive. I actually, believe it or not, my round trip to Thailand only cost $400. Yeah, I got $400 flights to Phuket with the layover. That was really not bad in Beijing. It's a long flight, but boy, they serve you so much good food on that flight. Oh, yeah. My ankles were swollen from eating so much food and not moving for 20 hours that I looked like I was in my third trimester. Hey, maybe I was. Food, baby. I asked for a trip back to Thailand. That said no. But yeah, I think it was probably 2 or 3 days before I actually went down there that I signed everything. That's what's wild is like you think of these shows as like a lot of TV shows, casts are set up months in advance. And then there's things that are like, yeah, I got the call the next day I was on a boat. You know what I mean? Like there's so many last minute. I know Survivor's been this way where they don't have finalized their cast and crew till the day before. And of course they had to bring extra people. God forbid there's a COVID outbreak. It is, first of all, shocking that they haven't had, I think, one cast member test positive for COVID while on the last, 4 seasons? Bachelor in Paradise season 7, Claire and Tayshia's season, Katie Thurston's season, and Matt James' season. And if you want to include Michelle's season so far, which has already been wrapped, that's 5 full seasons in this global pandemic. And I'm not saying there's any conspiracy theories. I know they do rapid testing and all that. So I shot a project a few weeks ago and we had to do same-day COVID testing, and I was so nervous I would just randomly test positive. I mean, look, I do stand-up comedy. I'm holding microphones. I'm touching people all day. You try your best to socially distance, but, some people, you just can't help but walk into somebody's sneeze, as you do. So anyway, that's the article. It's nothing crazy. Nothing crazy demands. She obviously didn't talk about the real thing that matters is how much they paid her. It's one thing to say you want a minnow, in shrimp tacos, but it's another thing to actually get that bank. Here's her dog, Minnow. This is the post of when she got the dog 2 years ago. World meet Minnow, a.k.a. Miss Minnow the Corgi. Corgi? Previously known as Pebbles. She is our Oh, you had to rename? Wait, she is our perfect little combo of two things that Garrett and I love most. Minnesota and Reno. We can't have her just yet as she's coming from South Korea and needs to make sure. So this was, her dog she had with Garrett. That's interesting. It's so crazy to think that only 2 years ago she was having a dog with her boyfriend at the time, or I guess fiance at the time. Anyway, that's her dog, and of course her and what's his face, Thomas. He's got his own dogs too, so they've got their dogs they do together. I just wired for a second there. So this is her happy place. Where is this? Where is she? That looks beautiful. They had a spa. That can't be her house, right? So she's at a spa doing her thing. I want to see what there's one of the dogs. I just want the energy of a dog with an afternoon nap. There's Thomas, with a big hot dog right there. Let's see what else we have going on here. So they just ran into Noah and Abigail. It looks like Noah and Abigail are visiting Becca. There they are. Couple goals. I don't think Becca or Thomas need couple goals. I think they got their own thing going on. But there they are. Shortly after Noah rammed his car into his house while getting a little nookie. And then there they are. Turn the neck sideways. You'll see they're doing mimosas. Now, it's good that Becca's got contract demands. It's always good that she can put her foot down. But you only can demand things when you have the equity and people want something out of you. So what we've seen, obviously, we covered the story yesterday when it comes to the IATSE strike, is that you need collective bargaining to make demands. Now, some people disagree with this, but I think that employees, if there's a good job that a lot of people want to do, there'll always be someone who'll do it cheaper than you, that'll work for free to get their foot in the door. And when it comes to entertainment, that's exactly the case. There's plenty of people that want to work in entertainment. You know why? It can be fun. It can be fun to work on fun projects. It's like summer camp, everyone's doing a different job. There's the same collective goal. You feel like you're building something. You have a wrap party. People are, hooking up in the, electrician truck in the back. There are all things going on. But of course, IATSE, which IATSE, which is one of the largest unions that works in entertainment, is about to shut down. This could stop the show on Monday. The next video you find from me might be that Bachelor is canceled. Now, obviously, I don't think the show's going to get canceled. What they would do is probably have like some sort of insurance that falls into place. If the strike does start, they just shut production down. Or maybe there's a loophole because they'll be abroad. We don't really know. I don't really know internationally if these unions, if it would count as crossing the line if they're filming abroad or if they have a stripped down crew. I don't really know what could happen. But the strike could shut down Bachelor Season 26 starting on Monday. We already talked extensively about the strike, but it's a union of 60,000 people, and they're prepared to walk out if the terms aren't met. So I think literally up until Sunday night, they could be trying to work out a deal. I don't know the negotiation process of what kind of deal is being worked out. But you have the AMPTP, which is the producers. It's incomprehensible that the producers in an ensemble that includes mega corporations, collectively worth trillions, claim it cannot provide behind-the-scenes crew with basic human necessities like adequate sleep, meal breaks, and living wages. These issues are real for the workers in our industry, and change is long overdue. So they compiled over here on acceptthisrose.com some thoughts on what the conditions are like on The Bachelor. Because The Bachelor, for all we know, they might have shorter days. It might be a pleasant place to work. It really depends on the crew. It's always top down, depending on the assistant director, the producers, the line producers. It's always what, whatever their budget is. Usually higher budget projects can afford to not shoot long days. Now they shoot long days because that means less total work days. So it's better to pay someone overtime than it is to pay them for longer days. Versus, people like Clint Eastwood as a director, he'll just shoot 8-hour days. He's like, no, we come in, we only shoot. If you work on a TV or film set and it's only an 8-hour day, that feels like you barely got there. Most days are 13, 14 hours. You string that along for 7 months. You work on a show like Law and Order for 20 seasons. Next thing you know, your life's flashed by you. So what are the conditions like? We don't know much about what it's like to work on The Bachelor, but the show has faced accusations from staff members before. In 2016, a former production assistant named Connor sued NZK Productions, the other production company that works on The Bachelor. He claims that PAs were denied typical 30-minute meal breaks or rest periods. That they didn't seem to be part of the video. So the production company, unlike Warner Brothers Televisions, doesn't seem to be part of the videotape agreement, which basically means they might not be in the union. Like a production assistant is not in IATSE, right? They're not in a union. They get treated horribly. On some shows. On some shows they get treated well, but they barely get paid minimum wage. And as people have said, a lot of times they barely get like 5 hours off between days. So sometimes they're just out there sleeping in their car. It's kind of like the show Unreal, if you've seen it, where they're just like passing out in the back of like work vehicles. Becky Steinhoek, a former producer on The Bachelorette, filed a wrongful termination suit in 2017 against Warner Brothers and several other individuals. She alleged that she was fired after complaining of sexual harassment by a number of the show's executive producers. In 2019, she requested that the case be dismissed. Well, I'd love to know more about that case. I wonder if she got a settlement or if they were able to, work things out. What can you do? As much as we love watching The Bachelor, people shouldn't be mistreated just to bring it to our screens. Even if the staff on The Bachelor do have safe working conditions now, they'll probably still strike in solidarity. Oh yeah, no, they will absolutely strike. Even if The Bachelor gets paid, even if their crew, which I'm sure it doesn't, I'm sure they all get paid scale, which means the minimum wage within the union's rate. That's what you get. You get scale, just like the Bachelor in Paradise contestants are getting $400 to $600. That's their quote unquote scale, predetermined amount. That's enough to get people there, but not too much, where it's, the producers aren't going to pay any more than they have to. But someone like Becca can name her price, and her negotiating power is saying, well, if you can't hit my price, I'm just not going to come to the beach. I don't need you. And that's a very powerful place to be, to have the equity within your life to say, I don't need you. So anyway, the strike is happening as far as we know. I'll post any breaking news about it as it comes out. So if we find anything out about an agreement being reached, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens tomorrow or Sunday. If an agreement's not reached, you're going to have dozens of gigantic blockbuster projects put on halt. And time is money. And if there's a TV show or a movie where they've got some big stunt scene they've been choreographing all week and they're supposed to shoot it on Tuesday, Dunzo, not going to happen. And, there'll be projects, if they do go on strike, that go on pause and then lose their funding and then just never get made. So that's always a possibility. Or they could do the right thing, the producers, and sort of meet their what are considered very reasonable demands for work safety and things like that. And then we could just keep the show going and you won't know the difference. We'll have to see how it all plays out. Do me a favor, follow me on Instagram at @DNeals. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video. If you want more content, I'm doing a Patreon-only live stream Saturday morning tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. You can join the Patreon at patreon.com/Dave Neal to join the Patreon-only live stream. We'll have some behind-the-scenes talking. I'll talk about my podcast, our Reality Steve's podcast I just did. So we'll do all the behind-the-scenes conversations over there Saturday morning. And if you catch it late, you can just watch it as well. And also the vlog at Dave Neal's Vlogs. And on Facebook, the free Facebook community is called Dave Neal's Community. All right, folks, have a good one. Talk to you later.